Mikey, you do it.
Oh, did you see me? You do it, Schrader.
I finished the worst out of all of you. Alan's the only one that didn't hit anything.
So I got to do the opening show?
You better. We're lame today.
Wow. The old expert panel and probably half the Winston Cup field's kind of hurting after Bristol, but we'll show you what happened in the Food City 500. Elliott Sadler's in the hot seat.
Well, he didn't do any better than we did, so he won't make us feel bad, will he, Schrader?
No, not at all.
Sounds like we got a theme. Let's go. Busch takes Old Glory for a victory lap after winning the Food City 500 at Bristol, a win earned despite a mid-race spin and some 17 caution flags that provided plenty of trouble to Dodge and left most every car in the field looking pretty beaten and bruised. Refugees for the junkyard. Hi, welcome to the Let Freedom Ring edition of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup. Alan Bestwick here in our Charlotte studios. As we've already established, kind of a rough day on Sunday afternoon up in Thunder Valley, but we got the old expert panel here to tell you what happened and why. We welcome to the program Michael Waltrip, driver of the Napa Chevy for Dale Earnhardt Incorporated, Johnny Benson, driver of the Valvoline Pontiac for MBV Racing, and Ken Schrader, driver of the 1-800-CALL-ATT Dodge for BAM Racing. You always say that along with me to make sure I get it right.
Make it right.
Qualifying great. Race was going along good.
Yeah, race was going along pretty good.
And
then we had a sudden loss of air pressure in the right front tire, and that resulted into impact with the turn 2 wall, which resulted in loading up our little Dodge and not finishing the race. Here we go.
Oh, golly, did you hear it?
I felt it even.
Twice.
Twice. I felt it go like this, then I knew it'd feel it go like that.
That's your favorite car, too.
You know, it's not like we don't have cars. It's just that was the 4th time in the 6 races we'd run it just because we'd liked it. So they'll put it back together like it was and bring it back out later.
Good qualifying run Friday, and go at it again this week at Texas. Johnny started 20th, survived, I don't know, 15, 20 close calls, finished 19th.
Had a lot of close calls. Good thing we had an in-car camera, but it's just all day couldn't run on the outside, and we just struggled a little bit. So we ended up 19th. Pit stops are good. Just, like I say, we're just a touch off, and it was tough. We've had a couple, Kyle's wanting to get by. It was okay, I guess.
Just in the interest of time, I had to pick one out of the 15 or 20 to show. Jack Sprague bounced off you once, spinning down the backstretch, a few others, though.
Yeah, I was right. No, I mean, he got loose. Well, the one time we got together getting into one, and he spun, and then the other time he spun on his own, but I happened to be behind him, and just all kinds of stuff happened around us, and outside that, we're glad we're out of there, and we're going to go over to...
Mikey, are you...
Over to... Who are you waving to?
Well, the back door open.
In the back door?
Yeah,
Elliott's here. Hi, Elliott. Good to see you.
Yeah, we're on the air.
We're taping now, so you're supposed to be quiet for a couple minutes.
Yeah, come on in.
Mikey started 28th, and your race lasted all of 14 laps, and then it got ugly.
Is that what it was?
Lap 14.
Yeah, I knew it was pretty soon.
Did you think you went farther, or what?
Well,
it probably felt like that.
The car got really loose right here. I had her pretty much going the right direction, and you know, the guys behind me, it was my fault. I got sideways, and they didn't have anywhere to go. So if I'd have been by myself, I wouldn't have wrecked, but unfortunately, I wasn't.
You didn't hit the wall backwards?
Mm-mm. You don't get by yourself much at Bristol.
I got hit. Dave was right on me, so hate it for Blaney, because he was just on me. I got sideways, he hit me, and then several others felt like might have hit me. But Slugger and the boys did a really good job. We soldiered on, and I think we were the first finishing car that had trouble. We wound up 25th, and was real proud of the team persevering through a bad day, because we didn't have any trouble at Atlanta and finished 27th. So
you've made big improvements, aren't you?
So I feel pretty good today. I'm all right.
There you go. Here are the top 10 finishers from Sunday's Food City 500 at Bristol. Kurt Busch, after 3 runner-up finishes in the season's first 5 races, gets the W. Nice run from 37th to 2nd for Matt Kenseth, protecting his Winston Cup championship lead. Coming up, we tally the damage from the weekend at Bristol, both Saturday and Sunday. The races were kind of of a high contact variety. There's a surprise. As previously mentioned, Elliott Sadler will be in the hot seat. He is here in the studio. Did we mention that yet?
He's here, yeah.
And the Craftsman Truck Series race from Bakersfield, that had a lot of cautions too. We'll have a quick look at that later on.
Speed Channel's coverage of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup is brought to you by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. And by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Time to check headlines now on NASCAR Inside Winston Cup. How about Bud Pole qualifying at Bristol? You're looking at the first sub-15-second time trial lap run by a Winston Cup car there on Friday afternoon. 14.908 for Ryan Newman to set a new track record. That is Todd Berrier. He is now the crew chief for Kevin Harvick and the GM Goodwrench team for Richard Childress Racing. That change made this past week. Berrier reunited with Harvick. They won the Busch Series championship together in 2001. Gil Martin now made team manager for the 29 car. And we discuss the headlines now with our expanded expert panel. Elliott's here. We figured let's put him to work. How are you?
Doing fine. How you doing? Good?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Appreciate
You holding up well with this group?
It's a weekly thing.
It's getting used to it.
Very weekly.
Sub-15-second qualifying lap at Bristol. Wow.
Amazing.
Yeah, the big thing there, I think, is 1600ths quicker than second. I mean, Bristol, you know, you see 20 cars within a couple tenths, and you had 1600ths in the front row there.
Amazing. I don't know what to say about it. Do you?
No, I'm lost for words.
We do this show weekly.
So.
Very weekly.
Yes, we do. Some days, more so than others. We seem to have established pretty much these days that where you start doesn't have anything to do with where you finish. So my question is...
I know that. No, it has nothing to do with it.
I was thinking more along the lines of guys starting in the back that are winning races these days.
Oh, okay. I was just
that
thinking...
kind of thing.
Okay.
Well, maybe that's your problem.
Yeah.
Maybe you're qualifying too good.
Yeah, just that 1 week, yeah. It's just,
Well, he had started on the pole at Darlington, and he looked like he was going to win.
yeah.
Yes, he did.
It does matter where you qualify, because generally, if you've got a fast car for qualifying, it's going to be fast in the race. And so that's why I think that you see more often guys toward the front of the race win the races, because their car was good from the get-go. Now, you can slip in qualifying with one of those fast cars we saw and qualify 30th and still win easy. But most of the time, if you got 10 or 15 really good cars, the majority of them are going to qualify near the front, so therefore the winner is going to come from the front.
The thing we're running into, I think, more and more too, is the cars and times are so tight, and you're trying so hard to qualify that it's easy to have that little slip, and all of a sudden when you thought you were going to be solid top 5, you're 25th.
So the question I was going to ask, you sort of just answered.
You had a question?
Yeah, well, I thought you were saying
I just never got to it, but I didn't want to interrupt because you were actually saying something that made sense. But
that was unusual, wasn't it? Yeah.
You know, but so the issue is that people are trying so hard, a little bobble is so costly, versus people saying, okay, it doesn't matter if I start at 37th, I can win. I'm just not going to put as much into qualifying because...
No, the effort's there. It's just sometimes the result isn't. What about the deal you did at Darlington? Go out there, had the fastest car in practice. Try to explain to the folks at home how you loaded your wagon right there. You know, what you had to do in order to make sure you could repeat that lap.
It was unbelievable. We went out and made first lap right off the truck at Darlington. I mean, like he said, fastest car. And I was shaking. Darlington's a place, if you run real fast right up against the wall, you get out of the car and you're trying to point to the screen and your fingers go like that. Yeah, we're first on the screen. You know,
it is.
And it was just a good, solid lap. And I was like, I don't want to touch it. I said, just let me, you know, breathe a little bit after this lap, take an hour break, and hang out and see what everybody else is doing, and then I'll do it again. And it just one of those weekends. But we paid for it at Bristol this past weekend. I think we changed truck arms 2 or 3 times. We changed every spring you could change, some sway bars. So all the stuff we got by with last week at Darlington, we made up for it this weekend at Bristol.
I don't think I mentioned that Elliott drives the M&M's Ford for Robert Yates Racing. I'd like to at least get you that when I introduce you. And we're already well over time for a commercial break. Imagine that. We'll go to break here with a look at the Bud Pole Award standings for 2003. Ryan Newman, the first repeat pole qualifier this season.
There's
so much work that needs to be done to stay on top and to still continue moving forward. We've got Texas next week. We actually cut that car up while it was ready to go because we learned some things from Vegas. We learned some things from Atlanta aero-wise. And then we'll go off to Talladega, Martinsville, and we'll have a week off. So hopefully we can get through these next 3 races. Bing, bang, boom.
Kurt Busch with it.
Bing, bang, boom. Kurt Busch perseveres for a victory at Bristol in the Food City 500. That's a pretty accurate description of the way the race was, too. Bing, bang, boom. We review the event now with our expanded expert panel. Michael Waltrip, Johnny Benson, Ken Schrader, and Elliott Sadler. Race summary, caution flags. 17 of them for almost a quarter of the race's distance. You rode behind the pace car.
Not even a record, though.
No. Imagine that.
If we'd have been trying, we could have got a record.
How much more we had to get?
Some of them guys are trying real hard, Kenny.
Wasn't lack of effort.
Yeah, no.
All right, some 160,000 fans in the grandstands. Ryan Newman and Jeff Gordon lead the field to the green flag. And it didn't take long for the trouble to start. We show you now the early series of greatest hits. This is lap 3. Kyle Petty.
Did he get help?
Yes.
From
Of course.
Slide 31?
Outside that, no damage, not a whole lot of damage.
Uh-oh, this mic.
Yeah.
I had it right
Save
there.
it, save it.
I
And
missed.
then poor Dale Jarrett. Wrong place, wrong time.
Poor Dave Blaney.
Hey, you knew it could happen when you got in your car Sunday at Bristol.
Yeah. Lap 21. This is coming to a restart.
Oh, yeah.
These guys are on the backstretch, coming to the restart.
Yeah.
Casey had never done that before
Coming to a restart?
at Bristol.
Oh, okay.
It all gets wound up, you know, and
jammed up.
Casey hadn't experienced that before, and unfortunately, that was his learning. Sometimes you see something you've never seen before in a race car, and it doesn't cause you to wreck, but you go, wow, that could have been big, and in that case, it was.
But it wasn't the only time John Andretti got run over.
No?
No, we'll get to see this too.
Yes, we will. The strategy going into the day on the part of most teams was to visit pit road as few times as possible. That forced some teams into tough last-second decisions. We illustrate with Rusty Wallace. We'll stay out, we'll stay out, we'll stay out. Oh, no, maybe we better pit.
They saw a lot of cars, I think, probably coming in behind him. He says, I don't want to be that last car that didn't come in. So he quick dove in.
Watch Mike Skinner here, picks the last pit stall at the end of the backstretch pit road, and that turned out to be a pretty good spot to be.
Saturday and Sunday. Jason Keller picked that spot on Saturday, and both people,
That's where
both those
qualifying
guys.
can be important, so you can quick get that spot on the backstretch, which used to be so good at.
But the pit road rules should make every spot even if you don't speed, and every stall should be the same. So the reason that one car keeps on, look at the mass exodus there. One spot should not have an advantage, so NASCAR needs to look at why that keeps happening.
Skinner's good fortune, he came off pit road first of that whole group on that stop, would end later when he had a sudden loss of air pressure.
That'll do it. He hit real hard, very hard.
Expert analysis there. So Skinner's out of contention for the day. We move ahead to further action. Lap 198. Dale Jr., Jeff Burton, and Robbie Gordon begin things in turn 3. By the time they come off turn 4, Mark Martin's in it.
Yeah, this is everybody just jams up, hits, bangs.
This is big. I was a couple behind it.
Yeah, I was too, and it just, like you say.
Is that you, Elliott?
Yeah, he hit my right side door, and actually a piece of his bumper stuck in my door. And I had to come in under caution, running 7th at the time, and take it out. Move me back to the back.
And see, there's
No, we
Casey.
were a little bit upset at the time.
Casey, he saw one of the experiences again that he learned from, but he didn't get hurt that time.
There are the two drivers who dominated the early going in the race. We put them on camera because when you review a Bristol race, the guys who lead don't get much credit until the very end. So I wanted to give Spencer and Jeff their tip of the cap.
Spencer's been good.
Wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
Both those guys running real good at that point of the race. Put a lot of guys down.
I got a theory, thinking back to the Mark Martin thing, and we'll watch this as we look at some more of the Bristol race. The theory of 5. The 5th guy in line from wherever the trouble starts, he's the guy that gets it worst.
I go along with that.
Yeah.
That'd be hard to argue with because it's just boom, boom, boom.
Except in your case.
The second guy got it the worst. But the 5th guy, he didn't get such a good deal either.
No, he didn't get a good deal either.
All right. Lap 227, eventual winner Kurt Busch and eventual 3rd place finisher Bobby Labonte do some sort of synchronized spins in the theory of 5.
That's the 5th guy again.
And look at Matt. He just is jetted out around the top. those are some great cars. I think that's 3 of the first 4 cars there you saw sliding through turn 1 and 2. Here comes Carrot Top.
Oh, watch this. I was hoping this wouldn't be on tape. But he didn't hit anything.
No, he spun.
He spun and kept going straight.
Yeah,
Plus, he finished 4th.
I hit him very carefully. Very carefully I hit him.
Day ever in the Wood Brothers car. Do you know the Woodses had a great day yesterday? John finished 2nd in the truck race, and then they finished top 5. Congratulations, Lynn and Eddie.
Yep.
Glad to see you having a good day.
Great job.
Not good day for Terry Labonte, running 3rd at lap 243 when his race will grind to a halt up against the wall.
Yeah. Whoops. Yeah, that was a lot of help.
Boy, Terry was looking good, too.
Then Robbie finished him off for him.
Now, check this out. Watch Kenny Wallace. Check how this all works out. See Terry way over there to the right, and Kenny's just sitting there? Now,
I will see it again here.
it'd be fun if y'all would just leave the camera rolling. Here goes Kenny, watch. All right, he's saying, okay, I'm all right.
How'd he get there?
Okay, I'm going to get out of here. Wait a minute.
Where'd he come from?
5th car back? Or that's 3rd car back that time?
And that's our 10th place finisher.
Yes, it is. Proves you don't have to be real bright to run 10th. I mean, you know, it looked like he just parked there. I didn't mean Kenny was not bright. I won the Daytona 500.
Took a lot away from that race.
Time for a commercial break at this point, I believe. Up next, more Bristol mayhem to look at. The indignities of the day, even inflicted on former Winston Cup champions.
You know, it was a big morale boost for everybody on this Motorcraft Air Force race team. They worked hard, the Wood brothers, everybody on board. They've been working hard, and we got behind the 8 ball early in the season. We just got behind, and we're just now starting to dig our way out and getting some better solid runs, and today was just a good, solid performance.
I got caught speeding on pit road and had to go to the end of the longest line, and that was really tough. I had to pass a lot of cars there, and you know, just all day passing cars here at Bristol, it's tough, and I'm surprised I'm not even tired at all at the end of that race. I don't know why. It's maybe because it's so cool out. But it was a good experience for our first Bristol Winston Cup race, and just hope to improve on it next time.
Ready for another 500 lap?
Thoughts of Greg Biffle, NASCAR.
Did we get that, Arn?
I was distracted, yes. What Mike said?
Yeah.
No.
I do some of my best expert commentating when the cameras aren't on.
And why didn't Greg Biffle get tired at all?
Oh, because half the race was under a caution. It's pretty simple why he didn't get tired, and it was cool, but it's pretty easy to ride around Bristol under caution. I think we really got to figure out something to do about this deal. Too many laps under caution for those 160,000 people to sit there and watch.
Yeah, I brought that up the other day.
What'd you get told?
Well, I said, you know, this is like the worst race that we have.
Right.
It's the worst race. There's no racing. It's a very, very exciting event.
Right.
But it's no racing.
Well, as long as the people enjoy it, I'm all right.
Well, that's what they said. They said, well, we got 160,000 people here, and they're sold out, and there's demand for tickets, and we're really afraid to screw it up by fixing the track.
So maybe we could get the viewers to write in and tell us if they enjoyed the Bristol event.
Well, enjoy the crashing, or would they like to see us race?
I mean, if they like watching the crashes, that's fine with me. We're
Because
not
we
going
can do that.
fast.
That's not that problem.
Yeah, we can take care of that every week.
We're going to a place this weekend, though.
Yeah, you don't want to take care
You don't
of
want to
that
wreck there.
Let's get through this.
Shall we
We're
move
gonna
on?
get behind.
Okay, Kevin Harvick did not pit under caution at lap 198 when the other leaders did. It would prove costly to him and several others at lap 174 to go. Green flag pit stop.
Harvick was having a great run, too. He was very strong all day long with his new crew chief that he just got. Uh-oh, Spencer threw his pits. Let's back her up. Good job by the team there to give him time to get her backed up.
Matt Kenseth leading Kurt Busch as the green flag pit stops continue. Junior comes in. We'll see Jeff Gordon and Kenseth come in.
What about what Gordon did?
Yeah.
On his green flag pit stop, he forgot that you don't have to go through both pits.
Yeah.
He went down the back straightaway.
Did Elliott do that too, possibly?
Elliott Sadler, or he has
Elliott Bill.
I think Bill Elliott missed pit road or something, didn't he? Or did he go?
He went down the back also. Yeah.
That's not good.
I told James, it says, now, we do this, you remind me which end we're supposed
It's
to go
easy
on.
to do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's real easy to get confused and come in the wrong
Especially if
place
you're
at the wrong
pitting
time.
on the front stretch. If you pit it on the back, you know, then you just got to remember to leave right.
But it's the only pit road we do that on. That's two different occasions.
It's a great pit road.
And the pit speed was at different spots during those too. So, I mean, there's a lot that you had to deal with there.
And we've already
we
established.
know we need help.
Should I just recap what exactly it is we're talking about here? On the caution flag pit stops, everybody had to enter the backstretch pit road off turn 2 and exit the front stretch pit road off turn 4. You had to go all the way around at pit road speed. Green flag pit stop.
Oh, maybe. Okay, for the audience.
Well, obviously not everybody did.
We've already established you don't have to be very bright to win one of these things.
We digress. Let's move on. Kurt Busch and then Bobby Labonte have taken turns leading. 110 laps remaining. 6 drivers haven't pitted. Caution comes out.
He broke something, didn't
Yeah, but that really aggravates me.
he? What is it, sister, brother?
Well, I did the exact same thing 5 laps before, and I knew there was brake rotors and all kinds of stuff laying on the track, but...
You think maybe he ran over a brake rotor?
Could have been.
Let's check out the Enterprise turning point of the day.
That's the winning pass right there.
Because sometimes the right car can make all the difference. Isn't that what this says?
Kurt Busch had the right car and the right driver.
He did. He was able to get by Bobby Labonte in traffic right here on this restart, and that was the last lead change of the day. Kurt held off a very determined Matt Kenseth and Bobby Labonte to win the Food City 500. Let's go to break. Thanks for joining us so far today.
Oh, we're not there yet.
Oh, shoot. I was on a roll.
Man, you're on fire, Michael.
Oh, thank you. Mikey's on fire.
He's on fire.
We didn't have any good fires yesterday. Oh, we're not done yet either. We got another wreck.
Oh, at least one or two more.
We got another couple.
All right, the 15th caution flag of the race. Kyle Petty and Joe Nemechek tangle. Remember, Kenseth is still a lap down at this point.
This isn't funny. This is bad. This is a hard crash.
No, this is the easy one first.
Well, that's not funny either.
Kyle was underneath there, and he chose to go way down on the apron, just knowing that he wasn't going to be able to stay down there.
Hey, I got an idea. Since Elliot's been here the whole time, we can just skip the hot seat part if we run behind.
Well, we got to ask him questions.
We're doing okay, actually.
We are?
We're doing okay. I saved this a little time in the last segment.
Ooh.
Reason I showed this.
Good job, Elliot.
How about that? Abrasive action.
Abrasive action? Reason I showed this was to show that Matt Kenseth got back on the lead lap here.
Oh, okay. I'm glad we established that.
I'm glad we had a meeting.
Everybody knew he did. I don't know why he felt like the other second.
He runs second, duh.
Had to be on the lead lap, Alan. Come on, let's think, buddy.
75 laps to go. Now the part that's not funny.
Ooh, bad crash.
Yeah, this was pretty big here. I mean, I'm not sure what happened with the 22 here.
He got some help.
But he was definitely coming back and caught Kyle, and I'll tell you what, that was a hard wreck because there's lead laying on there. You see the battery go flying.
Yeah, the battery came out of it.
That was the battery?
Yes.
Battery, and there was lead and everything, so.
That's a slap. I bet you that one registered a lot of G's on the old box there.
I talked to Kyle yesterday evening on my way home, and he said he was sore everywhere from his toes up to his hair, but he was getting ready to go home. And they said once they figured out his neck wasn't broken, maybe he had some issues with his back, but nothing that was going to keep him out of the car, he anticipated.
That's good. That's good, because that was a very nasty looking wreck.
Ward came off turn 4 and was on the inside of a car, and to try to keep from running into him, he pinched her down a little bit. Why do you worry about that
this week? Well, never mind. It just came out. I don't know.
Next topic. Next topic.
Yeah, better move on.
Okay, 29 to go. Very close call for the leaders. Mark Martin back on track after repairs, right in front of the top 2.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-oh. Oh, boy. It's coming yet. It's coming.
It's still coming. Hey, we think it's over. Mark's
is back in track.
When Mark comes back around and says, wonder what happened to them guys.
Watch Tony. Bam. Now watch Nemechek.
Ooh.
I was right behind that.
So was I.
And I was like, he's not going to hit him. And
there goes Elliot and Johnny.
And so that was pretty costly, obviously, for both the 20 and the 25.
Restart with 20 to go. Kurt's able to clear the lap car. Bobby Labonte is not.
He didn't clear him, but as hopefully we'll see here in just a second, when Bobby got right to him.
Ooh. Bobby will lose second spot. So
well, but he didn't. Yeah.
But your point was?
Well, that Kevin Harvick, when the second place car got right to him, he moved
out
of the way instantly.
Yes. Look how fast Kurt was right there through that corner, though, man. He put 3 or 4 car lengths on 29 right off the bottom of the turn. So he had a really good handling car, as he seems to every week. He's got some good communication, being able to really work well with Jimmy Finnegan. Those guys are flat getting it done.
21 victories for Jimmy as a crew chief.
How about that
yesterday?
That's pretty good.
Finishing order from the Food City 500 at Bristol. Kurt's second straight win in that race.
The 2000th NASCAR Winston Cup race.
37th to 2nd for Kenseth, 34th to 4th for Rudd, top 5 for Biffle.
Kenny Wallace finished 10th,
Good
Jeff
run.
Gordon 9th.
Only 7 of the 43 starters failed to finish.
Is that not amazing what the crews are able to put back together?
Yeah, there you go.
They're able to fix that stuff.
And you know, I was a lap car yesterday, and I was real conscious just to run high and stay out of the way, as did all the lap cars in the Winston Cup race. So, you know, we understand our role once we have a little bit of trouble, and I don't think it's a bad deal to let the cars come back out there, because you're running high, you're changing some grooves up for some guys, and as long as you're respectful, I don't think it's a big deal.
Hot seat is next. Even though he's already here, we'll turn the intense focus of our grilling questions to Elliott Sadler. He's driving for Robert Yates Racing in 2003, flirted with victory at Darlington a couple of weeks ago, and as far as we know, on the occasion of this appearance on the program, is not in trouble with NASCAR.
I hope not.
Like he was.
Yeah, that was big.
Like he was last time.
Yeah.
Elliott Sadler in the hot seat, driver of the M&M's Ford for Robert Yates Racing.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, you've already been here.
Yeah, he's already been here, but that's okay.
The thought that counts, though, Mikey.
I turn you over for questioning to our esteemed panel.
Please be
Not
gentle.
sure to ask you. You've been here for so long. Just
What do you
say
want?
how the year's been going with Robert so far this year.
Or anything else? What do you
Or
want to
anything
talk
else you want
about?
to talk about.
Yeah, I think the season's going good. We got 3 top 10 finishes. I mean, I had some bad luck at Daytona with a box and lost a tire on pit road at Rockingham and maybe gave away a win. And I just flat gave away a win at Darlington, just following Jeff Gordon, and he hit the wall, and doggone if I didn't hit it right behind him. But
You'll do that occasionally.
at Darlington, it'll
driving.
happen. Yeah, precision.
You're following a guy and he runs into the wall. There's a pretty good chance, especially if it's Jeff Gordon, you might hit it too, because you're thinking this guy knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
That's funny, we're thinking just alike, but I just said that to myself.
I wouldn't tell a lot of people that you're thinking like Mike, but
2 laps before then, I'm thinking, you know, this is Jeff Gordon. He's not going to mess up. You got to figure out a way to pass him. And when he hit the wall, I went brain dead, and then I hit the wall right behind him. But we're having a good season. We're running good. Other than this past weekend, we've had top 10 cars every week, and I can't ask for more than that. And got a new crew chief in Raymond Fox, and we're working good together. And Sean Parker came over, and it's the first time I've had a teammate in NASCAR Winston Cup racing, so that's going good too.
And your teammate's your buddy, right?
Yeah, oh yeah, DJ and I get along great, and we seem to like the same stuff in the race cars, so that seemed to be helping out some also.
Jack post.
There's those extra bars yesterday.
Yeah, we were running 7th right there and had to pit and pretty much put an end to our day. But that was pretty bad. But we made the most of it. Finished 22nd. Battled with JB here for a while, and then he got us at the end. And I was laughing at Michael the way he was running all day, and he only finished 3 positions behind us, so we did have a kind of a bad day yesterday.
Just be careful when you laugh at old Mike. He'll slip up there and surprise you.
you just never know. when it's coming.
No.
A year ago at this time, a little over a year ago, you were appearing on the program on the heels of the helmet throwing incident at the Winston, and you were discussing how much your helmet throwing technique benefited from your softball playing. So you must be getting all geared up for the new softball season. Are you practicing by throwing helmets?
No.
Okay.
That gets too expensive. You know, a few $1,000s per helmet toss adds up after a while. So I'll go back to the little softballs, and we are getting ready for softball season. Actually, I'm going to play in Virginia and in North Carolina this year. So I'll be doing a lot of traveling this summer doing that. So that'll be fun. But hopefully I'll keep that just to the field. I've tried it. You know, they ask you, what's the best way to display your anger at the racetrack? I'm not real sure. You get fined for pretty much everything you do, so I'm not really sure. If y'all come up with a good idea, y'all let me know. So helmet tossing's not good.
Nope. I've never found a way to do it properly. So I just
okay, properly.
quit.
Thank you.
No,
You've done it a lot of different ways.
I have.
Well, come on.
There's no good way.
You got Elliott here in the hot
We've
seat.
had him here working. Okay, let me tell you what. I got to drive that M&M's car for 3 years. Really enjoyed it. Different team and stuff. My favorite color was green. I mean, I know this isn't a real scientific question here, but
No, it's okay. I think the personal side of the show is
Yeah.
what the viewers at home enjoy the most.
yeah. What's your favorite
I
color?
like the green too. She's hot.
She's hot.
Yeah, she's
very-
hot. I like
pretty
her.
slick.
And that's why she's on the left side of the car. She's over there with me.
Is she named
green.
Green.
Greenie?
Yeah. Duh. He could never drive it, could he?
That's the first quiz you get. The names.
What about working with Robert Yates? I know a lot of stuff has gone on with Robert's deal. He had it in Charlotte forever. Now pretty much everything's in the Mooresville area. He has turned some control over to Doug. how often do you see Robert? Is he still there every day? And what is it like to drive those famous Robert Red Yates horsepower engine cars that people have talked about since the beginning of time?
That's a lot of fun. And I mean, to have that kind of horsepower every week, I mean, I noticed it at Daytona when I left pit road the first time for winter testing, and definitely noticed it in my first test at Rockingham. And it's been great talking to him. He's got a lot of knowledge of what's going on. He's very involved on the radio every Sunday, giving me ideas, giving Raymond ideas. But the day-to-day operations is turned over to Doug, and he's just wide open 100%, getting everybody corralled together and is putting all these engineers in place and wind tunnel time and just up everybody to do whatever we can to make this team successful. And I think both teams in the same shop's been pretty good. And it's kind of like one team, two driver deal we're going with. Everybody in the shop, no uniforms, whether you're 88 or 38, you work on whatever car needs to be worked on, and we kind of go from there. And Raymond's doing a whale of a job. To be a first-time crew chief, he is very, very smart and knows what's going on with that race car. And, man, they're giving me good changes. I asked for it during the race, and then, man, they're doing a great job with it. So far, so good.
Raymond's been around this sport since he was born.
Yeah. He said he's been working there for 15 years, and I was like, well, how old are you? But he's been around that team, you know, for that long, and he was the right man for the job, and he's doing such a good job with it. Hopefully we'll be together a long time, and he's young. We got he's 31, and Sean's 28, I'm 27, and our shot guy's 25. We're a very young race team, so we just seem like the sky's the limit, hopefully.
Harmy did good this weekend until his car broke.
Man, was running 4th in the Busch race, and his line drug off at Darlington and messed up the motor. The same line, I think, drug off at Bristol with the same car. So hopefully they'll fix it before they go to Texas. But he had 2 great runs going at both places. So glad to see that for him at Toys R Us and everybody involved. And had a little trouble with the Virginia Tech car, but hopefully he'll do a little bit better when he comes to Talladega here in a few weeks. So hopefully that'll work out for him.
Elliott Sadler is in the hot seat on NASCAR Inside Winston Cup. We'll take a commercial break here and continue momentarily. Sunday, NASCAR Winston Cup racing returns to Fox. It's the Samsung Radio Shack 500 for Texas. Matt Kenseth's the defending winner. 12:30 Eastern, 9:30 Pacific. Sunday, NASCAR on Fox. This Busch Series update brought to you by Smooth Busch Beer and Easy Drinking Busch Light. Head for the mountains of Busch.
You say that real good.
I'll try this at home. I'm a trained professional.
You could get you a job in radio if you wanted.
Could I?
Yeah. You got the face for it.
Thank you. Kevin Harvick won the Channel Lock 250 at Bristol Saturday. Pit strategy gaining him track position that he would not relinquish.
It was a good payday for Kevin.
Hey. You know, if no one else likes the show, we're having fun.
I continue with my friends, looking here at now Saturday's Busch Series race, an event that featured 13 caution flags in 250 laps. Pace car lit a lot of this one, too. Let's look at a few, shall we?
Do the math. If it had been 500 laps, it would have been a lot more than that.
This was the calm moment of the day. The opening caution with just a car stalled on the racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to go downhill from here.
Go downhill from there.
That's a sign of things to come, though. There's exits off the racetrack every 20 yards. You know, if they can get off the track, they don't have any business on it to start with.
Let's see. Chase Montgomery and Ron Young here at lap 18. A 27 car would be involved in several of the incidents during the day.
He had a really bad weekend, too, prior to the race.
Yes, he did.
Several is fair, I think.
Let's see. There it is. Generally, the concrete part of the racetrack is the one you race on.
Yeah.
I've learned that from observing you guys over the years.
Oh,
Chad Blunt, Mike Harmon.
Mike had a little bit of trouble in turn 2 again.
That actually started up ahead of them with a couple of other cars.
5 cars ahead?
I didn't count this one, but I still think that's a good theory.
Probably. I think you're pretty close on that.
I think I'll stop here.
Yeah. Looking ahead.
Oh,
Not far enough.
That was probably more like 3 cars. You get a harder hit when you're on the street by it.
That was Coy Gibbs. Let's see, lap 42. Shane Neal and Morgan Shepherd. That's the end of it. You'll see the beginning of it in the next look. Uh-oh.
I think that was Shane's second.
Yeah,
he had trouble qualifying.
Morgan was going to try to go around the outside of him, caught him in the right rear.
And Shane caught him back.
Yeah.
Yeah, was Shane doing a 360 there?
He was.
I didn't see. Was he powered up?
He was powered up trying to get on his
Powered
way.
up.
He only made it about 320, though.
270, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So those were just some of the caution flags in the Busch Series race. Don't have time to show you all of them. We will on the other program, though, later tonight. Kevin Harvick, pitted with 190 laps to go, would not stop for the rest of the way. The winning pass with 97 to go.
Scott Wimmer was having a really good run, but on a restart, Kevin jumped on Scott here and got by him. Brought Jimmy with him.
Yeah, Kevin's car was extremely fast on the restarts there, and it took Scott a little while to get going.
It looked like Scott had something for him.
Well,
once they got rolling.
Yep.
But then Scott and Scott split 27, and
one of the Scotts didn't know he was going to be down there.
No, that's kind of a wild move there. What do y'all think about that?
Yeah, that was pretty tough. I don't think Scott Wimmer knew that the 10 was splitting the 27 there, and he went down in the corner normal. And Scott Riggs was there, and of course it put them both in the wall pretty hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Scott Wimmer took a hard hit there because whenever you get hit and you're already up against the wall,
it squishes you.
It squishes you. Yeah.
Kevin Harvick's 9th NASCAR Busch Series win, 3 of which now have come at Bristol.
Did I read he was like 2nd in all-time Busch Grand National lap sled now at Bristol?
Good run for Tony Raines.
Yeah.
There all day.
I think he had a tire going down at the end and didn't enable him to battle for the win, but he was able to hold on to second.
Enable.
Thank you. I've got all kinds of words in here floating around.
How come Jason Keller made more money than Tony?
Tony's not running all the races.
It was an abrasive finish.
Jason would be in the winner's circle program. We move on to the Craftsman Truck Series race. Seen Sunday afternoon live on Speed, Dennis Setzer with the win in the Lucas Oil 250 at Mesa Marin Raceway in Bakersfield, California. This race featuring 13 cautions in 250 laps.
But it's a good weekend for yellows.
Yeah. It seemed much calmer than that, though, when I watched it at home last night. If you're on a flat or a small, slick, half-mile track, would you rather have anybody driving for you than Dennis Setzer?
He's the man.
He does a great job on those tracks.
Setzer led 105 of the 255 laps run. Ted Musgrave pitted early due to handling problems, but Setzer came back after pit stop and roared through the traffic and took the lead from him here.
We're going to take old DW up to Martinsville in the truck and see if he can do anything with old Dennis.
That would be old Leroy's boys.
I think that was the site of Dennis's first truck win, too, in 1998.
And he tied a record for winning 6 consecutive years in the Truck Series with that victory yesterday.
Very nice.
That's good. He's a good guy. That's good.
You boys read the paper this morning, or?
We have.
I listened to the race on MRN on the way home, and I didn't get to see it yet, but if it was half as exciting as the MRN broadcast, it had to be a real good race because they did an excellent job.
Sound good, huh?
Yes.
Another shuffle of pit stops. Brendan Gaughan was leading. A restart, though, with 24 to go. The lap truck of Travis Quapple to the inside would open the door for Setzer's winning move.
And a lot of people thought that this was a Chevrolet brigade here taking the lead.
That's what Brendan
as you can see there, Travis trying to get a lap back. Nothing wrong with that. And Dennis following him right through. But the writing was on the wall. Dennis was going to win the race. He was that fast. So a little bit of an assist here by another Chevrolet truck in front there. And you can see John Wood lurking in third there.
How about Carl Edwards?
He did great.
Did real good.
He's done great at every venue we've visited so far this year with the truck.
That's good racing right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I've only been to Mesa Marin a couple times, but both shows were great. Both truck races that I've been to out there in person. So Setzer powers his way by Brendan Gaughan and would survive a green-white checker shootout at the end after a late crash by Bobby Dotter brought out the caution, pictured here.
And Bobby ran good all day long. He was in the top 5, top 10 all day, and unfortunately there got tangled up with the 75 truck and wound up in the wall.
And the late restart, and Dennis gets away.
In overtime restart.
Yep.
To fulfill the green-white checkered finish that the Truck Series has.
And then you can see Bobby Hamilton right there running in 4th. He's got top 5 finishes in all 3 races this year, leads the points. And he said that he's afraid this might sound cocky, but they want to finish top 5 every race.
And they're on.
Yeah.
They can do it.
Yeah, they're capable of doing it.
He and Newt got it going well.
And way to your right of your screen, well, you can't see it now, but Andy Petrie was 14th.
He was?
Yeah, Andy Petrie was 14th.
He suffered some brake trouble. And Kevin Harvick's truck there with Brandon Miller on board finished in the top 10.
As Mike said, Dennis Setzer winning a race now for 6 straight years, equaling a series record.
Who is Brandon Miller?
I don't know, but we surprised him with all the other stuff we knew. So that's one thing we didn't know. Yeah. But he's a good friend of Kevin's, I bet you.
Yeah.
He's
probably a good
California kid, I believe. He is.
One of them Miller boys.
Yeah.
All right,
come back out.
Is he Mr. Miller's oldest son, maybe?
Inside the NASCAR Busch Series, 11 Eastern time Monday night, 7 Eastern Wednesday night. Full wrap-up of the Busch and Truck Series races. We'll be back. And now, boys and girls, it is time for Speed Fan Q&A, your topics of inquiry to our expanded expert panel. First question from Greg in Johnson City, Tennessee. As a longtime NASCAR fan, wondering why NASCAR would want to take away a race from historical tracks like Darlington or Rockingham, what do our expert panelists think? Survey says...
Well, I mean, they are good tracks and they got a lot of history, but I'm kind of maybe looking at it a little bit different. It's not so much that NASCAR's wanting to take it away as it is that ISC, the corporation that owns Darlington and Rockingham, would rather take one of those dates and move them to one of their other facilities.
And I had an idea on that. And Elliot, tell me what you think about this. I don't think they should take a race away permanently. I think they should say, we're going to go to Rockingham twice a year, every other year. And we'll go to Darlington twice a year, every other year, or every third year. Don't take something away permanently. I mean, leave it there, but move it around.
We could do that with Loudon, Pocono, and Dover. Go ahead, Elliot.
That's a good idea. I actually heard you when you first came up with that scenario. Yeah, and I was thinking, you know, that is actually a good idea. Just take a few tracks in maybe less populated markets and just do it, move them around from year to year.
Did you say, damn, that's a good idea?
You wondered who
I was thinking, yeah, somebody told Michael that.
No, we'll
who's the puppet master?
So where do you watch the show at when you're at home?
Next question. We'll get back to that in a second. Michael Waltrip's car on display at Daytona after winning the 500. Is it really the exact car used in the 500? The email goes on to say, seems like a lot of money's tied up in some easily replaceable parts.
There it is. That's my car I won the race in. And yes, it's the same car. My helmet, my gloves, my earplugs, all the confetti from Victory Lane, everything is just...
Your earplugs weren't stuck? I mean, they pulled right out after the race.
I got them out.
but too, they buy that car from you, or they lease it from you for the year.
Lease it. And I think they give you $100,000.
Yeah.
I don't ever see any of that, but...
Yeah.
Got a question for our panel. Here's how you get it to us.
How's y'all's deal work?
To submit your questions, visit speedtv.com. Go to the program section and look for Inside Winston Cup.
Don't forget Trackside Friday night from Texas here on Speed, and Late Night Friday, Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. After we're done, in just a couple of minutes' time, Craftsman Truck Rewind. Didn't see the race on Sunday from Bakersfield? You can catch it tonight here on Speed. Now, time to take a look at Texas as we preview the event this weekend with our expanded expert panel. Pretty fast place.
It's an extremely fast place.
Very unique. You know, people say all these cookie cutter type tracks. This track's different. It maybe was designed, or people thought it was going to be like Charlotte, but it drives much differently.
It does. I mean, you're going down in turn one, you stay out. In this track, because it's new, you want to be right down on this bottom, but it does open up to somewhat of a second groove as the race gets going, at least coming up off the line.
Johnny, you tested down at Texas. You were talking about that during the commercial with us some.
Yeah, it's still extremely slippery getting into turn three. It's not taking rubber as fast as we'd like to see, and it's a little bit, the track's lost some grip, which I think is going to be a good thing when we go back. It'll hopefully open up the tracks, and you're going to see a new pylon. The one in the backstretch there blew over. Yeah. So they were picking that up when we were down there. So they used to like that because you could see what lap you were on, and they moved it in turn 4 now.
Out of time. NASCAR's top 10 on the way to the commercial break, and 10's all we got time for this week. Sorry, guys. Matt Kenseth's lead from 57 to 138. Mikey is 4th on the leaderboard. We'll be back.
Speed Channel's coverage of NASCAR Inside Winston Cup is brought to you by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Call 1-800-RENT-A-CAR. Pick Enterprise. We'll pick you up.
Here's the NASCAR calendar for the weekend. Lots of stuff from Texas. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're almost out of time, so while you look at this, I will thank Elliott Sadler. Thanks.
Thanks, Elliott.
Thanks for
Come by,
guys. Absolutely.
I talked to Rick Mast this week. He's going to be the Grand Marshal at Martinsville, and it was good to talk to Rick, and looking forward to seeing him up there.
Look forward to seeing him. That'd be great.
Yep.
World
Okay.
Outlaw races this week down in Texas, too. Always good to watch.
Lasowski will be there, and Kinzer and all the rest.
Looking forward to it. I'm going to American Iron Horse, go look at some of the motorcycles there in Dallas-Fort Worth. That'll be fun on Thursday.
I'm taking the Dream Machine to Texas. Did y'all know or care?
We're glad you got it in, though.
I'm glad you got it in. The show was getting on.
Running out of time, too, wasn't it?
See you next week, hopefully.